E3 让我真正的见识到了电子游戏产业的巨大。在这个世界上，大约有12亿人玩电子游戏。是 E3 将这个行业的精英集结在同一个屋檐下，将这个铭记于心之后，我想去了解一下洛杉矶游戏制作公司 Angry Bananas 或是生气香蕉的创始人 Carlos Lopez。所以现在我们要跟
This is not working out, man. I think we should go somewhere else.
所以今天我们要介绍这个
Yeah, this is not gonna work. There's nothing here to show the public. We gotta go find somewhere.
All right, let's go. You good with this place, Carlos?
I'm good.
All right, good.
I'm good.
那我们现在 finally good. 那我现在要介绍给你们，这个是一个公司叫做 Angry Bananas。Angry Bananas 这个公司呢，我让 Carlos 来介绍一下他的公司是做什么的。Can you tell us about Angry Bananas?
Yes, Angry Bananas is a production company here in southern Los Angeles. We produce events with Giant Robot Magazine, which is a Asian pop culture magazine centered in West Los Angeles. They do a lot of gallery stuff. We set up a lot of indie games for everybody to play for free. I think doing things for small companies or big companies alike expands the further acceptance to video games in just the regular general, public. A lot of people still are kind of iffy about video games, but then again, we are the biggest multi-billion-dollar industry.
What do you think about this year's show? What are you looking forward to?
This year's show looks pretty boring in compared to other shows right now. I've only walked into the South Hall. A lot of the things are not really available. You can tell that the main stuff is in the middle. I mean, there's a lot of people waiting in line to play some games that are, they're okay. They're not up to par for what I expected.
Alright, that's what I wanted to know.
这是真的，这里很多的游戏都是旧作的新版本，又一个刺客信条，又一个使命召唤，又一个蝙蝠侠游戏，连一些新游戏的预告片都被藏在这些紧紧关闭的大门里。所以我决定去寻找一些原创游戏，听说索尼 PlayStation 好像有一些。好，现在我们介绍给你看一下这个 Night in the Woods 的这个游戏。Now, guys, if you could tell me a little bit about your game Night in the Woods.
Night in the Woods is about the inevitability of death and pizza parties.
That's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Concur?
Yeah, concurred. That's about right. Yeah, it's kind of an adventure game with some platforming to get around and stuff. We wanted to have some verticality so you could go up buildings and check it out. And also, since we want to have a lot of exploration, we didn't want it to be a drag to kind of walk back and forth, so you can bounce all over the place and find all kinds of neat stuff. But it's primarily an adventure game. You're going to be following a story, doing some puzzles, getting to know some characters.
We're kind of allowed to experiment with different types of gameplay as well. So you actually play as a cat named May who's dropped out of college and returned to her hometown. And one of the things you get to do as May is go into first person in something we call paws mode, where you control each of her paws and you get to pick stuff up and scratch people's backs. So it's just a different window into the world. So you're not always running and jumping and talking to people. There's also that way to interact with stuff.
In terms of art direction, was also yes, that looks fantastic.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I mean, I'm an independent animator, and so Alec just saw my work and was like, hey, we should make a video game, and that's it. So thankfully, my work beforehand, the style of it translated really well over to the video game. I think influences on this are Chris Ware, Mike Mignola, and Richard Scarry, who did this book called Busy Town. So I mean, you can definitely see the Busy Town influence in it.
你们两位未来还会合作吗？
We'll do something else, but we need to get.
I'd love to work with you again. If you have me.
I know you would.
But you should work with other people too.
We'll work together. We had to finish this game first, though, so we'll talk about that afterwards.
复古的风格配上现代游戏的玩法，来吧！
Can you tell us about this game? It's so retro chic, I guess I would call it.
Yeah, so it's like a weapons-based fighting game, and the goal is not to kill your opponent, but to gain territory. So once you get a kill, you get to advance the screen in your direction, and then as you push and pull, you can eventually get to your side of the screen, and the big dragon, the Nidhogg, eats you. It's all pretty context-based, so we tried to keep it really simple and not have typical fighting game combos, you don't have to do quarter circles, so there's no complex moves like that. But you can throw your sword if you hold up. It kind of clues you into that, because if you hold up, your sword will be cocked back, and then you press the attack button and that throws it. I think it's easy to get into.
Do you have a little bit of influence from the video game Urban Champion?
I would be interested in, what's it called, Urban Champion?
It's called Urban Champion, literally it reminds you of Urban Champion.
No, I haven't played it, but I would like to, yeah.
好吧，所以它也许不是完完全全的原创，但是这个绝对比街头格斗小子有更多的乐趣和动作成分。那现在就让我们离开2D 风格，到3D 第三人称视角射击游戏来体验一下。PS4 现在最大的游戏呢是 The Order 1886。 and it takes place in
Neo-Victorian London in the year 1886 using our own special blend of lore and history. The Order 1886 takes place in our version of 1886 in London in Whitechapel. That's actually where our booth is right now. And what we're trying to do is, if you know the story of the Knights of the Round Table, behind us is Sir Galahad. And Sir Galahad is one of the Knights of the Order. He's actually going to be the player that you're playing as. And then you're going to be joined by some other knights along the way to defeat an evil force that's there, along with some other story that we're going to be revealing in the future. A lot of our weapons, like if you were to take the current technology of the time back in 1886 and just apply a little bit of future knowledge and technology to it, it could be placed, our weaponry and our costuming, it could all be found in that period. It's just a different history if like a couple little things had changed. One of our most unique weapons is called the thermite rifle. And the thermite rifle is actually a dual fire weapon. The first round fires out a cloud of aluminum iron oxide pellets. And then it's kind of weird because you see your crosshair and it's just this cloud all around you and you're like, oh, this weapon isn't firing right. But what you don't know is you have an underslung rifle ready to shoot a flare. And when you shoot that flare and it hits the pellets, it turns it into liquid thermite. And when that liquid thermite can then cover all your enemies, so even if they're like ducking behind cover, you can light it above them and it drops down and boom, they're gone. It's a different approach to games than what you would normally do with just, going down a hall going bang, bang, bang.
这些独立游戏证明了电子游戏并没有走到创意的死角，我们不需要一直依赖这些旧的游戏。Let's go. OK， 现在是时候我开启战斗模式到任天堂的展厅去了。
Hello 好莱坞为您带来最大牌明星
Hello China.
Hello, this is Alfonso Cuarón.
最新鲜资讯
Why not do a new character but set it in China?
最热辣大片。如果你想了解好莱坞明星们的新闻，敬请关注 Hello 好莱坞，最棒的好莱坞娱乐报道只在土豆网。